you're doing your radio show, you're doing your MSNBC show. How do you find the stamina to do this? Because you're doing a television show, radio shows, you're doing your conferences, you're doing your rallies. Where do you get all the energy to do this?
I think it's God. I get up every morning at 4 o'clock. I'm in the gym at 5, and I run a 16-hour workday, and I don't get tired. And I don't take naps and none of that. Maybe most weeks I do maybe 2 cities a week, 3 cities some weeks. I just been blessed with a lot of energy. That's why I know that it is God. That if you believe in something bigger than you, it'll drive you. And I think that a lot of people look for how they can get away from work. I look for more work. I can't remember when I've been on a vacation. My daughters just give up trying to get me to do it. But that is what I do. My work is, I rest in my work because I'm at peace in my work. And I think that, the Bible talks about in the peace of God beyond all understanding. I'm at peace. So I tell them, y'all go, have your vacation, do what you want to do. Don't worry about me. I'm at peace. If I went with y'all to the islands or somewhere, I'd probably be worrying y'all to death. So y'all don't want me to go.
Okay. And so, you know, especially I feel like since the whole Trump era, we'll call it, I find these people saying, "Oh, racism isn't a thing anymore. The civil rights era, that ended long ago." What do you say to those people?
Well, then how do we explain the continued inequality? Blacks are still almost doubly unemployed to whites. We are still a tenth in terms of wealth in our families. We're still behind in reading, mathematics, in the sciences, in the basics. So the inequality, you can't lie with the numbers. That's one thing that Biden has been very transparent about. And in business, they're now after diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've been marching on picketing National Action Network on Bill Ackman every Thursday for the last 5 weeks because he used that after they successfully got the first black president of Harvard out, Claudine Gay. And when you don't want equity, you don't want inclusion, but you want inclusion in our money. One of the things that we started many years ago was dealing with advertising. You want to sell your products in our market, but you don't want to deal with black-owned media. And we've got to say, no, if you want us to satisfy your profit needs, you need to do business with us. Otherwise, it's a one-sided affair. And I think that if you believe, you being answering the question, that racism is over, then if your people had the same metrics, the same percentages, would you live like that? And they would tell you no. So, I mean, let's be honest about it. And then when you see Trump and them rise up with outright the rise of hate crimes, the rise of hate crimes against blacks, against Jews, against Muslims, these are facts. This is not something that's being fabricated. In the last several years, I've preached more funerals over victims than I've ever thought I would do in my life. I did the funeral just last year in 2023 of Tyree Nichols, of the young lady that was shot through the door for knocking on this white lady's door to ask why she had cursed out her kids in Ocala, Florida, A.J. Owens. And then I did the funeral while we were having the march in Washington last August 28th, Martin III and we had about 150,000 people. We got back to the hotel, said, man, it was great. It was over 90 degrees, too hot, but everybody came out and showed that people want to see these changes. And flash across the news that white supremacists pulled up to the Dollar General store in Jacksonville, Florida, and killed 3 blacks for being black. And one of them was a woman just driving she was driving her Uber, and she dropped a customer off, was waiting for him in the car, shot her 11 times. And by the time we was trying to process this, Ben Crump called me and said the family want to know, would you help them out and do the funeral? National Action Network paid for the funeral. We paid for a lot of these funerals because those families, a lot of them were not prepared for death. And we didn't want to see hustlers go with GoFundMe pages and the family never get it. So for whether it was George Floyd or Eric Garner or the ones last year, we paid for them, told them to send us the bill because we don't get government funds. We can take our money and spend it where we want. And just last Saturday, the mother of A.J. Owens, who's a woman shot through the door, her mother was in town to do Whoopi Goldberg's The View, and said, I want to stay till Saturday. I want to go to Saturday Action Rally and thank Reverend Sharpton and National Action Network. And she told a story about she didn't know how she was going to bury her daughter. She had just passed to be a flight attendant. And she says that we paid for it and that she wanted to bring her grandson to see the rally and thank him. And she brought the grandson with her. And I told the grandson, when he gets ready to go to college, we're going to give him a scholarship. And he walked around the network looking at pictures. He said, that's the balcony Dr. King got killed. He pictured me and Martin. And, hey, that's what I was called to do. Did I know this at 15? No. But if you do what you're supposed to do, God got more for you than you could ever plan in your career.
And as you say at the rally, your change will come.